Hi, today I'm going to teach you how to code a very easy letter name activity. First, I'm going to go ahead and show you what this activity does. I would say that this activity is great for maybe elementary students to play if they're learning words and letters and things like that. But today, what you're going to be doing is you're going to go ahead and code your own name. So I have two names over here, and I'm going to show you what they do. So every time I press one of the letters, you're going to hear something. Leilani. Leilani. Notice that every single time I press one of the letters, it says what the letter is, the letter name, and then at the very end, it says the full name. Leilani. And then notice every time I press the letters, the color of the sprite will change. So that's really fun for little kids to play. So I'm going to try this name down here. Listen first. Kiana. Kiana. All right. And if I want it to reset, then I can just press this over here and it resets and something else happens, which is this heart thing in the middle. Watch as the hearts kind of come out from the middle heart and they're changing colors and then they come back and they're done. So if I press this stop sign, then it resets back to the normal, the original heart. Okay. So I'm going to do that again for you. Press the green go button and then they just keep changing colors and they randomly move around. And what you're going to notice is that every single time you press that flag, they're going to move in a different way. So that's kind of neat. And once again, to go back to the original, just press the stop sign and there we have it. So let me go ahead and show you how to do this. So we'll start over here. Let's look over here in this section. We have all the sprites that are used in the activity or program. Here's the L. And then on this side, you're going to see the code. These are the blocks that you can use to make your sprites do different things. So a sprite is basically like a little image, okay? And so the sprites that I chose are the ones that spell out Leilani and Kiana. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose the sprites that make up your name. So first, let's look at each sprite, like this L over here, and what the programming is. So first, I go to events, which is this yellow, and then I go when the sprite is clicked. That means the letter is clicked. Start sound, recording 1, and then change the color effect by 25. So when the sprite is clicked is right here. And then you're going to go over to sounds, and then you're going to go to this one. You're going to go to start sound, recording 1. That's the one you're going to choose. Just drag it in. And then change color effect. That's this purple one. It's a looks one. And you're going to go to change color effect by 25, this one here, and then just drag it in. So if you have this configuration, then basically it's going to change the color every time you press it, but also make a recording. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a bit. First of all, I have all my sprites already in because I've done this, but for you, you're going to pick a new sprite. So I'm going to walk you through that process. You're going to go over here to this little, I guess it's a cat, and it says choose a sprite, click there. And this is where you can find all the different sprites that you'll need or that you'll want to use. We're looking for letters. And let's just say, see, there's a bunch of different fonts that you could use too. Let's just say your name started with a J. So we go to Glow J, and there it is. See, there's my sprite. So I'm just going to put it like right here for now, just to show you. And do you guys remember the different blocks that I need to put in order to get it to work? All right, you're right. You're going to start with the event, which is when this sprite is clicked, drag that in. Then you're going to start sound recording number 1. So sound, start sound recording number 1. Okay. So right now it says start sound pop, but we're going to change this in a bit. And the last thing to do is to change the color. We're going to go over here to looks, change the color effect by 25. Okay, that's the configuration we want. And right now we're configuring J. And we know we're configuring J because look, as I'm building this, I notice that the J is highlighted. All right, so to change the sound, you're going to come over here to sounds. And right now we have pop, but let's make a new one. So what you're going to do is come over here and you're going to make a sound by, okay, over here you could choose a sound, but that's not what we were wanting to do. We want to make a sound. So let's see, we're going to go ahead and record a sound. Go over here, then go to the microphone for record. And you're just going to click this record button and you're going to say the letter. Okay, so watch what I do. J. So I said J and then I pressed it first, then I said J, and then I pressed it again to stop. Let's go ahead and listen to what we have. J. I like it, but if we didn't like it, you could press re-record. I'm going to save it, and that becomes recording number 1. Okay, now let's go back to our code. And instead of start sound pop, you're going to press here and go to recording 1. Okay, so now look at what happens when I press this J over here. J, 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 J. Do you see how it did that? Okay, so you're going to continue to do that for all the letters of your name. But for your last one, instead of just saying the letter, you're going to say the letter and then read out your entire name. So in this case, this I, when I click onto it, Leilani. Okay, so when I recorded that one, I said, I, Leilani. So you might say, let's just say your name was Joe. You will say, Joe is spelled J-O-E. So at E, you'll say, E, Joe. Okay, does that make sense? All right. The final thing that I want to show you is after you've done all the letters, you can work on this really cool heart sprite. So basically, I showed you before when I press this flag, all the hearts start floating around randomly and then they all come back and they change colors and whatnot. So I personally chose a heart, but you could choose any sprite you want. And so I created this effect by basically layering many hearts on top of each other. So if you can see down here in this section, we have heart, heart 2, heart 3, heart 4, heart 5, like tons of hearts. And they're basically layered one on top of the other. Let's look at the code for heart. Okay, so what I have here is when the flag is clicked, this is an event, you're going to glide 1 second to a random position, okay? And by picking random position, you can pick other things like, you can have it fly to a specific area, but I picked random position because I want it to look very organic, like it was just floating around randomly. And then I also changed the color effect by 25. And I kind of just went back and forth between these things. But notice the last one says to glide 1 second to 2x, the coordinate 2x and y 11, which is back into the center. So that's why at the very end, they all go back in the center. Look at heart 2, same thing, heart 3. Now notice that as the hearts go on, I've made them shorter and shorter because eventually I want them all to come together. And that is why the ones at the end, they're not as long, right? So then, and notice how like the wait time is different. So over here, this one is immediately after it clicks, then 1 second to random position. Heart 2 is same thing, wait 1 second and then glide. This one is wait 2 seconds, then wait 3 seconds, then wait 4 seconds, then wait 5 seconds, then wait 6 seconds. And this wait button just helps them stagger, basically. So let me show you again what happens. When I click it, see how there's 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second, 6 second, 8 second. So it gives the appearance that they're all kind of moving randomly, then coming back together. The key to making them come back together is to glide to, and then your final destination, like the starting point, the origin point. Okay? So, what I want you to do for this activity is number one, you're going to write your name using the sprites and then make sure to record the letter of each of the, record the sound for each of them, like this. See, you're going to make your own recording and make sure that your recording matches the letter name that is being clicked. And then for the last one, make sure to say your full name. Then after that, you're going to pick a sprite and try to use that same technique of gliding around to a random position and changing colors and then returning back to the beginning position. Okay, so that's it for now, and I hope you found this tutorial helpful.